I'm Adam.
And I'm not Mike.
And this is Stuff and Waffle, where two friends probably talk about Porsche and maybe some motorsport as well. That's bound to sneak in.
We've never discussed Porsches before, have we?
No, I don't think so. But I thought let's better put that up front because we're going to.
Just a disclaimer for the listeners.
Well, that's it. We normally put a disclaimer about Bond cars for Mike and I, but today's disclaimer will be Porsche.
Let me just talk about Aston Martins instead. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh no, I can't get excited about new ones, I'm afraid.
No, not the new ones. There's plenty of old ones.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes, you are definitely not Mike. You are Rob. You are.
I am. Yeah.
You are someone that people will have heard before.
For the attentive listener.
For the attentive listener, for the New Year's 2022 double episode, that was you. And you're very kind to stand in for Mike, who is, I think, turning himself inside out as we speak.
It's just turning green.
Yeah, he's not well today. All is not well in the Machin household. It's I think all family has decided to be unpleasant. So we have an alternative host, and we have much Porsche. Oh, we've got actually we're on the cutting edge here, aren't we? In terms of Porsche. Yeah.
We're in unreleased territory.
We are, but it's probably. Yeah, I think I've seen a bit this week about it. There are journos at Silverstone where we were, who are taking them for a spin, but we got to see them before they did.
Oh yeah.
I suppose you should tell them what we actually saw.
No.
Yeah, because we were there. We were at Silverstone for some touring cars, and they only use the national bit of the circuit. And when we've gone previously, we've always had a wander down a Porsche, haven't we?
Oh yeah, you've got to have a nosy around the car park.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, even the bit that's right out the front, there's always something exotic out there that you don't normally see.
Yeah, and just to see how rusty the old 919 replica is.
Oh, it's I don't know what you mean. Although it wasn't there.
No, I've probably thrown it in the bin by now.
Yeah, what do you mean? That was a real racing car.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I hope the bolts are less rusty on the real one.
No, they use gaffer tape on the real one. Come on.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so we took a wander down there, and we had some cars going around on the other portion of the circuit.
Indeed.
And we casually assumed it was like Silverstone track days or experience or something like that.
Because they've got the Aston Martin Experience Centre around there, and they've got the Porsche Experience Centre. And when we were there last year, they had just a few different cars going around. I think they had an M2 going around as well as a GT3 and possibly some other things.
Yeah.
Experience day on the other side of the track.
That's it, because there was a few of the Ferraris that were logoed up with the silver and stuff on there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we thought, oh, again, because it's a weekend, it must be a big earner. However, when we got onto the pathway next to the hangar straight, and
there was a BMW estate driving past, which we thought, okay, that's a bit out of the ordinary. Then there was a gigantic camera hanging off the back of it. And then it was followed by something even more unexpected.
Yeah, something we've only seen we've seen in videos, but it's been on the internet, but it hasn't been moving. There've been people standing around it talking about it.
Yep.
And it's the new GT3 RS.
Indeed.
We saw more than one going around that track.
Yeah. I didn't realise they came in so many colours, to be honest.
Yeah, because what did we see in the end? We saw
there was a silver.
Mm-hmm.
There was kind of a light blue metallic.
That was it.
And there was a very good yellow.
There was.
Bright red as well.
Yeah, that was
a
it.
good one.
Yeah, we just didn't see we didn't see the yellow or the red one up close, did we? We saw those a bit
No, we saw
later
them
on.
later while we were perving over some touring cars.
But it was impressive to see.
Yeah.
And having seen a few things on Twitter since, like I said, there was, Chris Harris has been there, Andrew Frankel, various people are putting up photos of themselves in the pit lane at the wing, getting ready to go out in them. It seemed they've got two of every colour by the look of it.
Oh dear.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them there. So yeah, but we did not expect that, and they're all German registered cars, and
yeah, that was the first thing that was a bit. This is definitely a PR event, isn't it?
Yes,
they were all on German plates, all on Stuttgart plates.
that was it. And after we'd sort of had a little perv over those and attempted to film it slightly, we actually, it's fine, absolutely fine.
I've reviewed the videos I took. I can't pan a moving vehicle to save my life, apparently.
I did all right, but on the one that was doing the really slow drive-by.
Oh, I missed that. That was the first one I tried to record. And then the one moving faster, I tried harder and still missed it.
No, dear, that's fine. I've got one that's pretty much in shot throughout.
Oh wow!
So that was well, I'll go with a fluke on that. But by the time we wandered down to the experience centre, they had the doors open, didn't they?
Oh, they had a lot going on there.
I mean, we got excited by the car park offerings first, because that's the first thing we came to was a non-RS one. It was just a GT3.
Yep, there was that was a 991 GT3 to get geeky, because we can use the numbers today because mine's not here.
That's yeah.
So we can go full Porsche perv numbers.
Yep.
So there was a 991 GT3 non-RS to start with. That's very nice. And then the 991 GT3 RS. Suddenly, someone jumped in it, fired it up, shuffled it around the car park, and then disappeared indoors with it.
And we didn't get close enough to see what was occurring at that point, because then we saw that they had a 992 GT3 Touring.
Yep. That was quite the distracting thing, because you don't see a Touring very often.
No, I don't think I've ever seen one.
No.
I don't think I ever saw one of the 991s either. I mean, but they're even rarer though, aren't they? The 991.
It's not every day you see a GT3 in general, to be fair.
No. But by the time we calmed down a little bit and glanced inside, we could see that this PR event was it wasn't in full swing, but it was being prepped.
No, that was why they were shuffling cars around. They were repositioning everything indoors.
That was it, and they had every generation of GT3 RS in there.
Yeah, the first thing that caught my eye was a 996 GT3 RS, because they're something you really don't see very often now.
No, well, rare at the time, even rarer now, because not they've been battered and abused. They're all tucked away, and you'll never see them.
Oh yeah, that one was definitely not battered and bruised. It's just that's never been used in its life.
That's out of the Porsche collection. That was, wasn't it?
Yes,
because it was white with the blue decals, wasn't it?
White with the blue, yeah. They go for very big money these days.
Oh yeah, too many monies probably.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. And also, obviously, I had all the generations of them, including in the centre of them, the brand new one as well, the one that we've all seen on the internet. But it's not white, is it? It's slightly off white.
I thought it was a pearl white.
There you go. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, the pearl white with the red decals and red wheels.
Red wheels, very nice. Harking back to obviously the original 2.7 RS.
Yep, that's a nice touch. Yeah, and they were just porn in there, wasn't it? And the guy who'd parked the 991 GT3 RS, I don't really know what he was doing, because he'd reversed it in there and parked it next to a pillar so he couldn't open the driver's door.
I think he did that and realised this isn't a left-hand drive, is it? I think it was the German Porsche guys moving the cars around. He parked it up and realised, I'm sat on the wrong bloody side of this or I can't
I
get
think
out.
that explains a lot because, yeah, like you say, it was a British car being operated by a lot of German people in there.
Yep.
Yeah, you could hear the general conversations occurring, and yeah, it was that really subtle way that the Germans speak.
That subtle tone.
Yeah, that's
Gentle.
it. Yeah.
Soft. Smooth.
So we got some video, and we had a little jibber jabber about it. So
that was around about the time I got distracted by another car that I
was
spotted
it.
that you hadn't clocked yet.
No, it was obscured because there was a Macan and a Cayenne in the way. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I just saw some bonnet stripes and went, I know what those stripes are from. That's a car I have never seen in my life.
No,
That was a very, very nice 991 911R.
That's it, and
the predecessor of the GT3 Touring. Just glorious
yeah,
mobile.
like you say, not a car anyone's ever seen, really.
No,
I don't even know what sort of numbers they were made in, but it just
not many.
But yeah, it was the white with the red stripes.
Yes.
Which is
Yeah, they also came with the green stripes, didn't they?
Yeah, but people think, oh, it only came in very limited colours, but you think actually it came in. Not only could you change the colour of the stripes, there were silver versions of it and everything, I think.
Yeah, I believe you changed the wheels as well.
Yeah, and I've only ever seen, well, in pictures, I've only ever really seen the white and the red.
Yeah, the most I've ever had to do with it was in Assetto Corsa, to be fair.
Oh, I think we said that when we were filming, didn't we?
Yeah, and
Because
it's a fantastic car to thrash around Silverstone because you can just drive it on the throttle. You're like, I don't need to really steer that much. Once I'm set up for the corner, you just balance it on the throttle.
It
Like,
is a
this
good
is fine. I'll just slide about.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun in that game.
Oh yes.
Well, it's just a good car, not covered in all the aero stuff. Manual gearbox,
proper manual box. Lovely.
I'm assuming they let you spec brakes and stuff on it, but the one that was there was just on steel brakes, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Which is probably the right way to do it, isn't it?
Well, yeah, then you
For
use
a
it.
car like
Not
that,
that you'd
yeah.
ever use with 911R. I imagine they're all in collections where no one must ever breathe on them.
Well, that's a shame because it was just a nice thing. It just looked like a really usable car, didn't it? It didn't look.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me about these collectible, especially Porsches, because Porsche make these collectible cars as drivers' cars. They're specifically built to be really good on track, and they never are.
No. Other than your press car, that none of the other ones are going to get used.
I'm sure Mark Webber gets given one and he drives it.
Yeah, well, I suppose he does, but not very often. I mean, even when he got papped in a supermarket, he wasn't even in his Porsche, was he?
Well, no, but I imagine he gets to do some track days as he's a brand ambassador, isn't he?
Yeah, but again, that's
a nice leftover from his Le Mans days.
Mind you, then he'd probably just use a factory car than hammer his own.
But still,
I mean, there's worse jobs.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, it's like you say, it's a shame that all these glorious collectors' cars just sit and don't get used.
Yeah.
Well, it jacks the price up, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. It just makes everything silly.
And well, and the fact that if you go, right, these cars aren't for us, we can't afford this stuff. But even if you or I went, oh, I've just done a lottery win. I've done like proper like Euro Millions type thing. No, you couldn't go to a dealership and buy one.
Oh no, your name's not down.
And that's it. And then you go, well, you've not had 10 cars preceding this either, so you're not allowed one.
I remember when they did the GT3 RS, they said, no, they're not going to be in limited numbers. We're just going to keep churning them out. And that didn't go so well, did it? Because no one can get one.
No. No one can get anything, can they?
No. Well, to be fair, we are in a position where they're talking about certain cars. They're not even fitting electric windows because they can't get the microchips to run them.
Probably fine.
So, not entirely fair to say you said you produced that many and you haven't, because they physically can't.
Yeah, getting bored of the old microchip thing.
Yeah, I just don't see that ever coming to fruition. The GT4 RS. It's always going to be. I think, to be fair, probably rarer than a GT3 RS is going to be.
Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I think that's true because I remember them. Like when you said when they released, "Oh yeah, not a problem." Yeah, like, well, no one's got one.
No.
So don't know.
Now, after the initial announcement, it went very, very quiet on the GT4 RS front. I've not heard anything about them since.
No, and I've not seen any doing the rounds in private hands or anything.
Nope.
So,
Very strange.
It is strange, but I mean, we certainly saw plenty of GT3 RS, so they exist.
We did, yeah.
So that's a start. Mind you, as well, actually, on a slightly side note, but at least Silverstone related, we made a brief inquiry into how easy it would be to get hold of a new GR Yaris.
We did, yeah. I was told if I ordered one that day, I could possibly have it within a year, which is better than I was expecting, to be honest.
I suppose.
Because I thought it was going to be, no, you've had your allocation. The UK's not getting more for a long time. Which is good, because if you can still get them, it means that everyone's that's buying them and just jumping the price up to try and sell them on, isn't it? No, I could just go to the dealership and get one. I just have to be patient.
That's it. If you can wait, then you're onto a winner. But yeah, I mean, say onto a winner. They're still bloody expensive.
How many people are going to have it as a daily driver, really?
Yeah, but you could.
You could, absolutely. You're talking to a person that had a 944 and a Boxster as a daily driver for many years.
Yeah, you definitely weren't a fan of your wallet.
Or reliability, no.
Well, yeah, but did you ever get like properly stranded when you were thinking, right, I've got to go to or from work?
Not to and from work, no. Well, there was the time the alternator on the Boxster died as I was driving up the hill home. That was nice, in the middle of winter. that didn't fill me with joy. Oh, and the exploding clutch. That wasn't very nice. Thankfully, it wasn't my only car at that point.
Okay. But you still got to your destination.
I did, because every time I stopped, I had to turn the engine off. And I could only drive it in first gear.
All right, it's better than
fifth. It had to be in gear when I started it. So.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, traffic lights were interesting.
Getting some funny looks.
Short journey. Yeah.
Okay.
I was driving along up the road with the hazards on, and the car in front of me was trying to wave at me to tell me the hazards were on, and I had the roof down, so I had to stick my thumb up out the roof going, I know, it's all right. It's broken.
Did you know your hazards were on? Well, yes.
Yeah. I also know I'm only in first gear and I'm doing 30 miles an hour, and there's a lot of noise coming out the exhaust, including pops and bangs. I'm just cruising down the road at 4,000 RPM. This is fine.
Yeah, that's all good. Oh dear. Okay, so yeah, all right, yeah. So in all fairness, we could use a GR Yaris daily. You're probably going to get more trouble-free motoring than that.
Yeah, well, it's a new car for a start, rather than a 20-year-old one and a 30-year-old one.
And I mean, we had a sit in it, and I mean, the fit and finish is fine. Perhaps some of the materials are Japanese.
It was what I would expect from the interior of a Yaris.
Yeah. You're not buying a GR Yaris to go, I've not got a dash clad in leather. It's
Nope. It's a Yaris.
That's it.
I use the term loosely, but rally homologated road car.
Yeah. They're,
Supposed to be rally homologated, didn't quite work out because it
didn't
never rallied. But that
no,
was its purpose. That's why it exists.
but it is still good. You've still got the twiddly knob for your fancy settings, and you've
Yep.
got your manual
Nice, got a
gearbox.
nice little plaque on the center console saying that it is rally homologated, even though it never went rallying.
Oh, that's fine. So, and it's got its turbocharged triple cylinder gloriousness, tiny little engine, but it's
Yep.
going to go like stink.
Yep.
Yeah,
They certainly do. I was
but-
having a cheeky little look on the website after getting home, just checking. I could just remind myself of the different spec levels, because you've got your basic one. I think then comfort is the middle one, and then circuit pack is the full bore one. Comfort, which basically gives you a few extra sensors. I think you get parking sensors.
You see, we could
get more
joke about that.
speakers.
We could joke about parking sensor, but seeing out the back of that thing was diabolical.
Yeah, but it also has a reversing camera, so
Really?
yeah.
Oh,
The circuit pack has a reversing camera. You don't need parking sensors.
for Christ's sake.
So I was like, oh, that's strange that only that one has parking sensors. And I looked like, but you have a reversing camera on the circuit pack. So okay, who cares?
All right.
You get stronger brakes on the circuit pack.
Okay, that's fair.
Other than that, it's pretty much the same as the base model, but you get better brakes and limited slip differentials.
Okay.
So that's the big difference, and different wheels. I think they're slightly wider and they're forged rather than cast, so they're lighter.
Okay. I didn't particularly note the one we looked at, which edition it was, although it did have massive brakes. I'm assuming it had the circuit
I imagine
pack on
that probably was the circuit pack. Yeah, I wasn't paying much attention.
No,
The
I
outside
didn't.
of it, apart from
No,
it was
I
a nice
didn't.
shade of red.
Yeah, it was good. Good colour, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's like an extra £560 option, I believe.
Not obscene in the
Just to
grand
not be
scheme of new
white.
cars.
No, anything but white is an added extra.
Did you happen to notice the price?
I did, but I promptly forgot it because, in words of Fast and Furious, more than you can afford, pal.
Ah.
I think it started with a 3. Which isn't horrendous for what it is.
No. And we should be pleased that you can still buy a homologation special-ish.
Yep. If I had the money, I probably would.
Yeah. And it's quite interesting that it's from a brand that's really quite boring otherwise.
Yeah, it's a strange one because I've always been a bit of a fan of Toyota from the old rallying days.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
Apart from a certain Corolla that Sainz drove and didn't do particularly well in.
Well, you say that. He nearly won the championship in '98, didn't he?
Yeah, but the car still did nothing for me.
No, it was a weird-looking car, that Corolla, the bug-eyed one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the rally livery did improve it.
Well, you throw a Castrol livery on anything, it's going to improve it.
Oh, yeah. So, but might then throw a crash helmet through the rear window when it conks out on the final stage.
Oh, yeah.
That didn't improve it, did it?
Well, he didn't drive it, and he wasn't used to being outside of it for that long and looking at it. So he got frustrated and threw his helmet through the back window. Can you blame him?
Oh, I don't
Nothing
think
to do
it.
with
I don't think it was Carlos, actually. I think it was Louis Smoyer, the co-driver.
Fair enough.
I think.
I always remember it as Carlos, just getting annoyed and throwing his helmet through.
I'm going to quickly ask the internet on that.
Yeah. Just remember he was in sight of the finish line. And it's just, no, this doesn't work.
Oh, yeah, no, my stupid Rain Man memory goes, yeah, it was Louis Moyer.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he was not amused. Yeah, because I remember watching that because it was I can't remember whether at that time whether they started on the Thursday or Friday, but
Oh God,
Mackinnon
I don't had a chance of remembering things like that. I barely know what day it is
Mackinnon
today.
was out. Mackinnon was in. They both when they started. Mackinnon was in the lead of the championship, but then tore his rear wheel off on a concrete block on one of the silly special stage things, and that was it. That was him done. And that was it. He didn't quite gone home, but he just sort of he kept a low profile.
I think you mean Gronholm? Right joke.
Yeah, very good. That's some proper in joke there, isn't it?
I don't know myself.
Oh dear, you put me right off there, didn't you? So he was still about, but sort of keeping his head down, and then someone gives him when he sees Sainz sort of going, "Oh, this is the final stage. This is a formality." I think he's getting ready to go. He's got his coat on, quite literally got his coat on, and he's off before his phone goes and go. You never believe this. You are the champion after all. There's a Toyota on fire in there, mate. That was difficult watching. That was.
Oh yes.
You feel the pain there.
Yep.
Yes. Mind you, it's Toyota's a plague like that, isn't they? That's not the only time we've had it die in sight of the finish in a different discipline. 2016 and
a
the
very different discipline, yeah.
In Le Mans.
Yeah, that's something you're not going to forget anytime soon.
No, I was so excited about that.
Oh, you were very excited for that. A Toyota win at Le Mans. It's like, yeah, it's going to happen finally. And then a lot of fire came out the side of it, didn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Conked out. One lap to go.
Conked out just before the finish line, didn't it? Or pretty much on the finish line, opposite the pits.
Yeah, that was it. All it needed to do was go around one more time, and all would have been well.
No,
and that was it.
Set on fire instead.
That was it. I'd stopped. I'd stopped drinking for the day. I soon started up again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Write the Monday off now.
You got very excited about that Toyota win. You were there in your Toyota shirt with your Toyota flag. Going, yeah, it's going to happen.
I was in full regalia, wasn't I?
And then it blew up. And
yeah.
Still to this day, you like to wear that Toyota shirt during a race.
It's all right though. The curse is broken now. It's fine.
Well, it's broken, and obviously it's going to win it at this point.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not going to be Glickenhaus, is it? Let's face it.
I don't know if I'm going to be that cocky next year. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Oh no, we've got new people coming in next year.
I might, because we're going to be going, I might actually be able to buy a current T-shirt.
Careful now.
I'm considering I've been rocking the same one since 2014, and they haven't had that livery for, I don't know, nearly 8 years now. No, I think it was they changed it almost instantly after I bought it.
Yeah, trying to break the curse. Well, and because Porsche left, and they're like, oh, we can steal their colours now.
Yep.
And now every hypercar has got to have the same colour scheme.
Oh yeah, the like, white, red, black.
Should we have it red, white, and black? Yeah. Let's make it really easy to tell them apart on track.
Thank goodness Glickenhaus went, oh God. Should we do blue?
Yeah, well, that and just red and white as well. They didn't. The only black they had was from carbon fibre.
Yeah, that's true. No, their car was predominantly red, wasn't it? So
yeah,
but now they've gone.
That was kind of an homage to the old Ferraris, though, that the Glickenhaus was originally based on when it was the P4/5 they called it.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, because they enter that in Nürburgring 24.
They did, yeah. That's originally where it started.
That was it.
That was a staple for the Nürburgring 24 for several years.
It was not as staple as the Manta, though, is it?
Well, yeah, that's a sore point.
That is after last year's.
Didn't race.
Sorry, this year's even.
This year because of a garage fire the week before, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really close.
Yeah, it couldn't end there. And then the year before that, had an accident that ended up ripping one of the wheels off.
That was it.
Retired.
Yeah, it's not had a recent run of luck, has it? But they said they'd be back, didn't they?
Yeah, it'll be good to see it back because they did talk about last year being its last year because they were going to phase it out with the rule changes. It was going to be too old to enter. But I'm guessing due to being a fan favourite, they changed that. And then they set it on fire instead.
Yeah, which wasn't great.
Well, thankfully they did say the garage fire didn't damage the car. The car was okay.
Yeah, but
It did enough damage that they couldn't enter.
Yeah, they weren't able to deal with it that close to the race, were they?
No, I don't know if it did some damage to the car or it just did enough damage to their equipment that they then didn't have the support. I don't know the details.
I think that must be it. But it's all right. We jumped on the Dacia bandwagon, didn't we? The fan favourite became the Logan instead.
Oh yeah, because that was in there last year as well, wasn't it? So it's basically
it was, yeah.
Not a current shape Dacia
No.
Logan, one of the original shape Dacia Logan, which was basically a long Civic.
Yep.
So they threw a Clio Cup engine in it and went off we go to the Nürburgring, chaps.
It's a good idea.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
I'm still not convinced that rear wing is required to be that big on it.
It was quite the thing to behold, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. I have driven a Clio Cup car and it's quite fun.
Yeah, I can imagine that'd be quite fun, especially when
they're horrific to get moving. We were doing a Palmer Sport Day at Bedford Autodrome. And yeah, where we started with the Clio Cups, it was a slight uphill out of the car park onto the track.
Right.
And they said it's like, yeah, because these have got racing lightweight flywheels.
Oh, right.
They're sequential boxes,
but
they're manual to get them started. So you've got the clutch and you've got to give it a lot of revs. And then let up the heavy, heavy, heavy clutch. And there's like, yeah, it's going to need a lot more revs than you think it will.
Right,
so
okay.
I gave it a lot of revs, started leaving the clutch out. I was like, no, that's stalling. Dump the clutch again. All right, more revs. Let's do this. Just about got the thing on track. And then, yeah, once it's up and running, yeah, great fun. Then you've got paddle. You can change gears.
You can just bang it through the gears and you don't need to worry about clutch.
Then you left foot braking as well as you ignore the clutch entirely. So you left foot brake and you can get a bit of lift off understeer coming into the tight corners. It's
very good.
Lots of fun.
Well, there's a lot to be said for a fast Renault.
Oh yeah, I've never owned one. That's the only one I've ever driven, to be fair, and that was a racing car. So.
Well, all right. That's a pretty good way of doing it, though.
Oh yeah.
Because you drove quite a few things when you did that, didn't you?
Yeah, drove an Ariel Atom.
Oh.
Did not enjoy it.
No.
Too twitchy. It
was a bit loose.
Because they've got the tiny, tiny short wheelbase, and also the engine's hanging out the back of it. They do swap ends very easily. Even to the point where if you're on, there was one long sweeping corner, and you could be on the limit, and you'd suddenly feel the steering getting a little bit light, and then it would just spin.
Oh, okay.
There wouldn't really be enough time going, oh, I think I've hit the. Oh, now I'm dying.
At least you're on aerodrome, so there's nothing to hit.
No, apart from the other ones.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They're not expensive either.
No,
that's all right. But yeah, not your favourite then, because you think that would be
I spun it
many
times, and then when I put it back in the pit, we switched drivers, and then the other people got to have a go. And the car I was just in, they launched it out of the pit lane and snapped the drive shaft.
Oh dear!
I was like, I'm sure that was nothing to do with anything I just did with that car.
No responsibility there. You're not even behind the wheel now, so it's all good.
No, not me.
Oh dear. Yeah, because you'd think that'd be quite the thing to take around a track, but
you'd think so. On the other end of the scale, Caterham, similar kind of car, very small, very lightweight, so much fun. They don't swap ends that easily. They just hold a slide.
Do you think it's just because it's better balanced?
Well, they're front engined. You are sat at the back. There's a little bit of stuff behind you, but not a lot. But yeah, because of the chassis and the way it's set up, you can throw the things around. I wouldn't really want to drive one too hard on a public road.
No.
Because, well, when you're going sideways, they're quite a bit wider, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not going to fit down a B road easily, are they?
No, I just know I'd be in a hedge or underneath a Range Rover.
Yeah, and to be honest, it might not be through your own fault if you're underneath a Range Rover. That could happen at traffic lights.
I've been driving around the roads around here, and I've come around a corner, and a lovely SUV has come around on the other side of the road. And, well, I say the other side of the road.
Your
Mostly
side.
my side of the
Yeah.
road. Yeah. So you come into a blind corner and go, oh, well, I'll take it very easy. Blind corner. Oh, I'm about to die. Yay.
Yep. Oh dear.
Last time I went out properly to take the Boxer out for a little hoon, just driving through a town, doing about 20 because it's a very small little town. And this Range Rover came round a corner, my side of the road, continued to be on my side of the road when it straightened up, forced me off the road and made me emergency brake so hard that I stalled the engine because I couldn't hit the quick enough to avoid this idiot.
For goodness sake.
And then they just tootled off down the road as if I wasn't there.
Oh, they wouldn't have noticed that. Too low
No.
down, you see.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear.
Got busy things to do, like looking at the phone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, you got to keep your TikTokers happy, haven't you?
I don't think they were TikToking. They looked more like they were too busy wondering when to go and pick up Tarquin from school.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It is Oxfordshire done.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you got it worse than we have here. Oh, yeah, no, we've... Our stuff's only... well, it is SUVs, it's all the cheap ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't have to worry about that. What else did you ever go in while you were there?
I had to go in. Oh, let me think back. The first car I had to go in was a BMW M4. I can't remember what it was. It was stripped out and it had a roll cage in it. I think it was just a normal M4 at the time, but stripped out.
Yeah.
On slick tyres. But we weren't really know how to rev them properly. Every time I tried to rev it out, I stalled off.
Why?
There were a lot of, well, just, I don't think they were owned by people. I think they were still BMW owned.
Oh, okay. Right, that makes sense.
So, yeah, it's like, no, they've got to come back. Don't destroy the engines. But under braking, amazing. They've squirmed like crazy. And if you got them squirming just right and let off the brakes as you turned into a corner, it would kind of squirm the right way and get you a really lovely line in.
Okay.
They were good fun, but they were also a bit dull at the same time.
Well, just a bit too sterile, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
I think they were just a little bit too competent, being effectively a road car on slicks.
Right. Yeah,
they were very capable.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, and that's one of those things. I don't think if I was in the market, I'm ever going to pick a BMW M4.
No, they're just a bit too heavy, really.
Yeah.
Especially if that's the kind of car you want. You want something really sporty and really good to throw around. I'm going to want something a lot lighter.
Yes. Yeah, smaller, lighter. Yeah, because like you said about Caterham, that's great. I mean, not like you said, perhaps not on the road, but yeah. Okay. Well, what else? You had that Clio.
Yep.
Clio, Caterham.
Caterham. A Land Rover Defender on an off-road course.
Okay, that's a bit different.
Yeah, that was interesting. I'm struggling to think what else. A go-kart, as you do.
Yeah, obviously. That's
that was mostly about the track more than the go-kart because driven go-karts now. There was an LMP3, the Palmer LMP3.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun. That was my first dabbling with a car that has proper downforce.
Yeah, it's got some good aero on that.
Oh yeah, and wow, you can really feel the downforce working. It's one of those ones where you put it into a corner and you have to commit.
Right. Okay.
You have to have faith in the aero because all of these ones you've got an instructor sat in the passenger seat who's basically giving you commands on what to do. So, all right, change gear, change up, change down, brake here, hard on the throttle here. And he started off saying in this car, it's like, although we have a comm system, this car's so loud you won't hear a bloody word I'm saying. So, okay. We're going to use a hand signal system instead. So when I point up a gear. When I point down a gear. I put my hand out in front, brake. When I just point in front of me, it means go for it. It's like, cool, got this.
Yep.
So we were happily hooning around, and then there's one corner where I might have overcommitted slightly and got quite sideways, but I kept my foot in. I
Yeah.
gave it the old dab of Oppo, as they say,
Oh, very good.
and held that slide and came out of it again, and I got a big thumbs up thrust in front of my face.
That wasn't one of the predetermined hand signals.
It wasn't, but he seemed to like it.
Well, that's all right. What engine's that got in it?
I don't know, to be honest.
Hmm?
I imagine they are a lot slower than an LMP2 car. They're very small as well.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. So, oh dear, that sounds all right. Was that the meatiest thing or the fanciest thing?
There was a Formula 3000 as well, but my experience of that was, a bit ruined.
Right.
But it started off and they said, okay, this is all the number of the car, and all the cars had just come in from a session and pulled into the pits in a line.
Yeah.
So I walked down the line of cars and went, the number you gave me is not here.
Very good.
And they went, oh, hang on a minute. Oh no, it's this car over here. And then there's a couple of guys just hanging out, just sat on the tyres, chatting crap. And yeah. They said, oh, this is your one. So they strapped me into it. I think it had been sat there for a very long time. As they started off saying, all right, these are unassisted brakes, just so you know.
Right, okay.
And the brakes are very different to everything else you've driven today. So they'll take a little bit of getting used to. So just take it easy. It's like, all right, cool. First corner I came into, I'm like, all right, I know the brakes are going to be pretty dodgy, so I'll be gentle coming into it. And it just swapped ends on me instantly.
Oh.
Like, oh, okay. Almost in the barriers. And there's a special technique to get it in reverse that I'm not sure what it is. But I managed to get it into neutral and get it to roll backwards enough that I could turn it around again.
Right.
And then get going. And then took another couple of corners very, very gently. I got it round them. It's all right, but it doesn't feel good. Next tighter corner, swapped ends again. Next one, swapped ends again. And then they backflagged me.
Oh, cheers for that.
And then, I pulled it into the pits, and this guy gave me this just most ridiculous telling off.
Oh.
And he's basically telling me, he's like, well, I've got children. I'm not here to be murdered by a crazy person. Like, I'm sorry, what? That's just a bit much, isn't it?
Where was the murder?
I don't know. It was like, yeah, it's crazy, and we can't have you going back out on track. I was like, all right, I didn't enjoy that anyway. I'm happy to get out. And I don't think that was the answer he was looking for, because he then went a bit quiet. Went, all right, I'm going to let you carry out one more time, but another warning, you're off. Like, I can just get out now. So I just pootled around the track and got in everyone else's way. I was like, I don't care. I'm not enjoying driving this car. I'm not in a position to sit here trying to desperately warm up the tyres.
Yeah,
just to have that dickhead talking to me again.
That's no good, is it? Being sent out on a proper Formula car with cold tyres.
Yeah, with no experience of ever driving one.
Yeah, not good. Not
yeah,
very
so
pleasant.
My highlight was the LMP3 car and the Caterham.
On the topic of the Caterham, what gearbox did that have?
That was a manual.
Right, okay.
But yeah, we were told it was basically this little gymkhana track that we drove them around. And they said, once you've got into third, just leave it there.
Okay.
So once you're in third, you're fine. It's got enough power to do everything you need to do on the circuit in third gear. Which it did. I drift. It was kind of like a sausage shape, and you had to drive around the first cone as you came around it, back down to the other end of the sausage, and back, do a lap, then do a little circle around a cone and park it in a gate. So pulled out, straight line, round the first cone, incredibly sideways, carried on down the straight to the next cone, still sideways all the way. Just continued sliding back up, basically just doing an incredibly long slide around this very long donut. Oh, there's a sausage. And then when it came to doing a very tight donut around a code, it's like, never done anything like this. So I'm just going to do whatever I can with a lot of clutch kicking and get it round there. But I misjudged where the back of the car was. And I stopped it too early, so my time when I stopped didn't count. And he said, no, go forwards. Like, oh, shit, sorry. So I went forwards. And he said, if you had passed through the cone properly and stopped where you should have stopped, that would have been the fastest time.
Oh, that's annoying.
Like, oh, bollocks.
Oh, yeah, that is proper annoying.
Yeah. But I got a trophy for the MP3, so.
Oh, okay.
Got the fastest time for that, so I can't complain.
Oh, well, that's all right, isn't it? Oh, very good. But you'd recommend doing that?
The two I enjoyed the most were apparently my fastest ones, so. But yeah, I would recommend it, but very expensive. It was kind of set up as a corporate day.
Right, okay.
To have an individual ticket was almost £1,000.
Oh, yeah, you got to really want that then. Oh
yeah, I think I'd stick to just doing track days on my own car.
Yeah. Am I right in thinking the only one you've done was the golf one?
Yeah, I've only done one track day. Other than that, Palmer Sport Day. That was the same circuit, but the full circuit. Yeah. This day was split into little mini circuits for each session.
Oh, okay.
Whereas the track day we did was the whole circuit.
Okay. But yeah, you'd quite like to do that, which, well, any of the vehicles really. Well, perhaps not the Volvo actually, but
I wouldn't say no to doing the Volvo for enough.
Well, I suppose you get some good tyres on.
It's got pretty good tyres.
Yeah, but you could really jazz it up, get some Pilot Sports on there, and just go.
Oh yeah. I mean, to be fair, the tyres that are on it are not lasting as long as I'd hope they would.
No, they do go.
Oh yeah.
It's a big old lump, but they're still quite chuckable.
Yeah, for what it is. It's got somewhat vague steering, but once you get used to it, it's certainly throwable.
Well, that's it. I mean, he's a big barge after all, isn't it? Really?
Oh yeah, hefty old lump, and that's not what they're built for.
No, mind you, the Rozzers quite enjoy them, don't they?
Oh yeah, yeah. They had the T5s, didn't they? Not D5s.
That's right, but still, you think, like you say, the sort of light. It's quite light steering with a hint of vagueness to it. You think it must be the same for the T5 as well.
A proper go in mine. Mine's got the speed sensitive steering.
Oh yeah,
a little bit more lively when you're.
I've not got that.
Tuning it. Yeah, it gives you a better feel when you're out on the open road. But then when you're just pootling around in town, it just becomes nice and light. At no point does it ever become heavy, but.
I got to actually enjoy mine a bit the other day when I left your place. Because as ever, when I want to use a motorway, it was knackered. Because I did the sat nav to leave from your place to head towards Heathrow, and they said, "Oh yeah, don't go on the M4, that's ruined." Oh, brilliant.
That does sound like the M4, yeah.
So that is the way that you tend to go if you need to get to the airport. But no, I ended up going down through Henley and down towards Maidenhead. And
nice. Yeah, I've been down that way a few times just for the drive about.
And everyone had already got to work by that time.
Oh,
so that was good. I enjoyed that. That was a nice little blast. At points anyway. Some of it was people in the way doing 20 miles an hour, but there we go.
Well, it clearly gave you a taste from letting you have a go in the Boxster.
I did enjoy that.
Yeah, you needed a lot of egging on though.
I'm not used to a car that's got an engine that you can rev.
I can tell. Kept on changing gear at 4,500 RPM. I'm like, no, and the rest. Come on.
Well, I'm used to driving my car with a red line of 5. And even then, you never see it because it's in auto and has changed way before then.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that was.
Got to take it a 7.
Yes, poor old Pa trying to keep up in his smart car.
Ben did say he did very well keeping up.
Wow. Power's still built for speed. He's still doing motorbiking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's to be commended. And there was one thing I was going to say about. I won't go into it in like excruciating detail, but we were talking about.
Oh, this is very unlike you.
No. This is just a throw around an idea. And if we were talking about 911s, and I know you've said, and other people have said in the past, going, you worry that these days the 911's not a sports car anymore.
Well, I wouldn't say it's not a sports car. I'd just say it's going more into GT than sports car, but still is a sports car, which is quite a wide range of things in itself.
Yeah. But what I was thinking was, like, a GT car would never be my first choice, and I don't think it'd be yours either.
Nope.
But if you had to pick one, what would you have?
Oh, it's a hell of a question, because it's something I don't generally think about.
Yeah, you're not. That's it, because you're not. There's no research. You got. This is a sort of off the cuff.
No, because this is why I have more than one car.
Yeah.
So I have the sports car, and then I have the estate car. So when I want to lug stuff around, I take the estate car. When I just want to drive fast, I take the sports car.
That's it. So now you've got to pick an in-between car. You can have whatever you want. I'm not going to impose a budget on you. Don't worry.
Because I do like an Aston Martin, but I think the last Aston Martin I would have gone for would be the DB9 or something based on DB9.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because the
DBS and everything.
DBS,
DB9 under the skin, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah, just depends on whether you want some body kits, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, and there are a lot of body kits to choose from.
Oh yeah.
Certainly wouldn't be something silly like a Panamera or a Rapide.
No, I know what you mean. Nope.
Don't need that many doors.
Nope. No, that's fair. Can we interest you in anything Italian?
Oh, well, Ferraris do like to make a GT, but would a Maserati, is it still called the Gran Turismo? Is that class as a GT?
I would say so.
Yeah. I think if I was going Italian, it would probably be a Maserati Gran Turismo.
Okay. But that's not your final answer. That was just me proffering a bit of Italian as an option.
No. I'm not sure what my final answer would be, to be honest.
Oh no, you got to say one.
Oh, what others have we got? We've got the Italians, obviously we've got the British.
We have. I mean, I suppose. Yeah, actually, you could chuck in some German stuff. Maybe like I know they don't make it anymore, but perhaps like the SLS or the McLaren SLR, maybe.
Yeah, no, I do like the SLS more than the SLR, possibly. But I don't know. I think, although I like the big hulking V8, it's just I think I'd rather have a V12 or the Maserati screaming V8 rather than the lazy V8 of the SLS. Well, relatively lazy V8.
Yeah, I know what you mean, relative. But you think, like you said, you dismissed that SLR. That was, I'd probably agree on that. They're an half shouty.
Yeah, I think that's just a little bit too focused, but also not focused.
It did, yeah. Perhaps didn't know what it wanted to be. That.
No, because it was based on SL, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then they just put an enormous engine and a supercharger on it. It went, now we don't know what this is, but it's very fast.
Yeah. No, I'm probably all right for that. Because I've been Because I thought it's bound to be something Ferrari related, but then you go, actually, they're probably all a bit overkill.
Yeah, don't know. I could be persuaded by a 575.
Yeah.
I do like a 575 or the lesser 550, depending on where you've put your fog lights today.
I'd probably go 550. I think the front end
Yeah.
is a tad cleaner.
Yeah.
But I prefer the wider opening of the grille.
To be fair, you'd have to put them side by side for me to notice.
Oh, that's all right. Just watch Bad Boys 2. They constantly swap.
Yeah, that's the lovely guessing game of what are you this scene? Are you a
That's
575 or a
the
550?
That's the benchmark right there. I think you've done loads of and ahhing, but I think I'm sold on what I'd have.
Are you?
If I have to have a GT car, it'd be a DB7.
I like the DB7, but it's quite an old car at this point.
But it's an old car when they started it.
Well, yeah, it was what
XJS,
really.
XJS,
yeah. Because it was meant to be the latest Jag, and then they went, no, we're going to make it an Aston, and then Jag made the XK8 instead.
Yeah.
Which is also Grand Tourer.
Yeah, that's another contender. But no, I'm picking a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which 7?
I want an
inline 6.
I want an early one with this inline 6. I want early one inline 6, 5-speed manual. That's me right there.
Yep, I do very much like a DB7.
I think the earlier ones were cleaner looks. I think it all got a bit weird when they got on a bit.
Yeah.
Wheels certainly got too big.
Yeah, the early ones do have that odd wheel though, don't they? Whereas the kind of hub is just this weird big lump.
I know the ones you mean, and the spokes are quite thin.
Lots of very thin spokes and a very big lump in the middle.
It's right, I can live with that.
That's right then.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take one for the team on that one then.
Yeah. I don't know. I was thinking something a bit more modern, because if it's a Grand Tourer, you want to be doing some touring. You might want something a bit newer, and might get there. And
I'll accept reliability issues and lock myself in on DB7 then. Connor, what are you having that's newer?
Oh, I think I might go for the DB9. You know,
are they as reliable? I don't know.
Only because it's newer. The stuff's less worn out. That's the only reason.
I suppose. I've not heard any DB9 horror stories.
No, you want it to be a manual though.
I bet that's a rare thing.
Depends how new you go, I guess.
Perhaps not in DBS form.
Yeah,
I've seen a few of those advertised with manuals.
Well, there you go. I'll have a DBS then.
Okay. Then you can pretend to be Bond.
Yeah.
Just don't get a Millbrook, because apparently they roll over there.
Yeah, and then when I mess it up and launch it over a inconveniently placed ramp at the side of the road, I can say, I'm just James Bond. It's fine.
Yeah, that's it. You'll enjoy filling out that insurance claim.
Yeah.
I was doing Daniel Craig.
Not like that.
No. That of all the no, don't do that. You won't like it.
He frowns upon that.
His wife will have something to say as well.
Oh yeah.
Okay then. So what we've done there is we've picked one generation of Aston after the other. Oh. Well, that's a happy accident.
Most importantly, not the newest one.
No. I've got no. I saw one the other day. Funnily enough, in the queue at Heathrow.
Oh yeah.
The 11 was just a bit. I'm alright.
Yeah, I see the odd 11 and the new Vantage about.
I don't want either, really.
No.
I certainly don't want the new V12 Vantage.
I've got such a soft spot for the old V8 Vantage. Not the old one, which I also love.
Yeah.
But not current gen.
Previous generation, very nice indeed. So it was still discreetly
I think the
packaged.
proportions of that car are absolutely spot on.
And it's not a massive car either.
No, it's a very usable size, very good looking, and well, I've never driven one, but I'm sure lovely thing to drive. And we have seen one with a nice supercharger conversion.
So I've seen, we saw that. That was quite lovely, and it's not the only one I've ever seen modified. They do lend themselves to a bit of fiddling by the look of it.
Oh yes.
So okay, but that I suppose we shouldn't really get into it, but that I'd almost say that's not GT, that's sports car territory. That
I think they're kind of crossing between the two. They're kind of straddling. I think probably more sports car than GT.
Okay,
just because they're a bit smaller more than anything else.
So are we going to dish this out as advice then? Going, if you need a GT car, just go and buy yourself some DB Aston, just not the new one.
Yeah, just get some sort of an Aston Martin.
Okay. I mean,
if you really like AMG engines, you can have a new one.
Yeah, that spoils it. No, I'll have a proper Aston one, and I think both the ones we've picked are still. I mean, they're not cheap, but they haven't gone mental.
No.
But you still need a fair budget behind you. But yeah, I think there you go. There we go. That's
then you've got to have it serviced, and that's when you basically pay for the car again.
Yes, I know. I think I mentioned it before. I remember when Ben was in the market for his car and ultimately ended up with his Mustang. He did go and look at some DB7s. Then he did some
servicing a Mustang, even though you had to import the parts. It's going to be a lot cheaper.
Yes, quite simple.
Nice and simple.
Yes, he made some inquiries about ongoing costs, and that was a hard no.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to dish out that level of advice. That's the one I want, and that's the one you lot should go and buy. So we'll part on that, and the world needs to go and buy Aston Martins as GT cars.
Yeah, just more Aston Martins.
Yeah, there you go. I think Mike could approve of that as well.
Martins.
Yeah, I think that would get the seal of approval if he's, not praying to the porcelain gods.
Maybe he's thinking about Aston Martins to try and get him through it.
We can only hope so. It's going to bring back horrible memories when he listens to this as well, because he'll have finished purging and then he'll have to listen to you and I remind him about it.
As long as he doesn't start again.
I don't think we're vomit-inducing. Well, I don't know. Maybe some feedback.
I think we need to ask someone else that.
Okay. Yeah. No, I made an assumption there, haven't I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Never assume.
No, never assume. Okay. Well, we'll leave it there then, on the assumption that we're not vomit-inducing. And thank you for stepping in. That was incredibly helpful.
Thank you for having me.
That's all right. And it won't be the last time. And
maybe you've got enough Porsche geekery out of your system that you can not annoy Mike too much in the next episode.
He wishes.
Yeah, he does.
No, I'm afraid he's going to have to put up with code numbers forevermore now. So there we go. But yeah,
I do remember he did very much like it when I told him the little geekery about where your Porsche crest should be pointing on your centre cap.
Oh, in relation to your valves.
Always point to the tyre valve.
That's it. That's correct. That's a recognised technique. So
unless your Porsches are as ropey as mine and the centre caps move independently of the wheel whenever they feel like it, then they'll point to whatever the hell they want.
No, it's like a Rolls Royce one.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
but they never face the right way up.
Oh dear, no. Well, I bet he's been checking them in car parks actually since you told him about that.
I hope so.
And taking photos of ones if they're wrong.
Oh yeah.
And if he hasn't,
telling the owners.
Yeah, because they love that.
Stopping them. Excuse me, do you know your crest is pointing the wrong way on your offside front wheel?
I've reported you to the owners club. Yeah.
PDDB will be hearing about this.
Oh.
That's Porsche Club Great Britain for the uninitiated.
Yeah, they've come up in conversation. Let's not get into that. Mind you, it's not like we're best friends anyway, so.
No, they won't
No,
like
no.
my cars anyway, so it's fine.
They won't like your cars. They didn't like us last time we encountered them. Oh, right, yeah, that's all right. Before we get shut down even more from them, we'll, yeah, I'll press stop and thank you very much, and we'll have you back soon, mate. That's it from us this week. Mike and I would like to say a big thank you to Rob for stepping in at the last moment. Check us out on Twitter and Instagram, or get in touch via info@stuffandwaffle.co.uk. Thanks so much for listening.